Hi everyone. So this week's discussion, we were encouraged to either discuss Locke's contention and the implications of his idea that the intellect is derived mainly from our senses and our sensory information, or rationalism, and how this idea of rationalism developed throughout this time period. I am specifically going to focus on Locke's contention in this video. And yeah, so a couple points that I found interesting. The first one was one peer mentioned Locke's contention as it related to babies. And she said, if Locke's contention was true, babies wouldn't survive very long, and we wouldn't see that because their senses are not as developed. So they would not be able to generate ideas, they wouldn't be able to communicate hardly, and they wouldn't be able to learn. And she really said that we're born to grow, and that was a point that I really liked. And she said that the ability to create ideas is really relative to our need to generate these ideas. So I liked that point as well. And then another peer mentioned alcoholism and how Locke's contention disregards our genetic predisposition to certain diseases like alcoholism. And that really affects also our ability to generate new ideas. So I thought that was interesting. And then another peer kind of agreed with Locke's contentions in a way, and I thought that was very interesting. She said that every adventure she has had has involved senses to an extent, and related that to Locke's mentioning of the knowledge that we have of our world is really based on and limited to our perceptions. And then finally, another peer, in their elaboration of Locke's contention and the implications of such, argue that we learn a lot from others. So not only do we learn from our environment and we learn from experiences, but we also learn a lot from others. And I really thought this was an interesting point because of babies again. So, in the first couple of months that babies are living, they start to mimic and really imitate their caregivers. And I thought that was a really interesting tie in to what that peer mentioned. And also peer pressure. We're more likely to do things when we see other people doing it. So I thought that was a really interesting way of saying, this is an implication of what Locke is saying as well.